Yeah, good evening, children. Yeah, please share the answer for the first one. Find the number of terms of this AP.
Ma'am, 27.
27. Tell me the equation.
Equation.
Somebody's mic is enabled. Yeah. Yes. Was it Blessy? Yeah, continue.
Ma'am, A is equal to 18, ma'am. B is equal to minus 5 by 2, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Blessy. Yeah. I think there is noise from your background only. Okay,
Yes,
no
ma'am.
problem. Yeah, tell me. Okay, then.
Then, ma'am, I used the AN formula, ma'am.
AN is equal to minus 47, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So A plus N minus 1 into D is equal to minus 47. Working this, you can find the value of N. 27, correct. A is 18. D is A2 minus A1 minus 5 by 2. And the nth term of this AP is for minus 47. So AN is minus 47, which means A plus N minus 1 into D is minus 47. So upon substituting the values of A and D, so this equation has three unknowns, A, N, and D. We know the values of A and D. So substitute the values of A and D and solve this equation to find the value of N. N is 27, which means the AP has 27 terms. Yeah, next one. How many three-digit numbers are divisible by 6? What's the answer?
Ma'am, N is equal to 150.
150. So 150, there are 150 three-digit numbers divisible by 6, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Correct. 150 is the right answer. So we need to generate the AP of all three-digit numbers divisible by 6. So the first three-digit number divisible by 6 is 102. And the last three-digit number divisible by 6 is 996. How many three-digit numbers are divisible by 6? So this is the AP of all three-digit numbers divisible by 6. 102 is the first term. 996 is the last term. So how many meaning you'll have to find the value of N. So AN is equal to 996. AN is 996. A plus N minus 1 into D is equal to 996. So you know A is 102 and D is 108 minus 102. 6. So as you know, with the earlier answer, here also this equation is three unknowns, A, N, and D. You know the values of A and D. So substitute and solve the equation to find the value of N. N is 150. So there are 150 three-digit numbers divisible by 6. Yeah, next one. Find the AP whose third term is 16 and seventh term exceeds the fifth term by 12.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
the AP is 4, 10, 16, 22 and goes on, ma'am.
Okay. Very good. I have the same answer. So the third term is 16, which means A3 is 16, which means A plus 2D is 16. Then the seventh term exceeds the fifth term by 12. That means the seventh term is greater than the fifth term by 12, which means the difference between these two terms is 12. One term is more than another term by 12. So the difference between these two terms is 12. So which one exceeds? The seventh term exceeds. So the seventh term is bigger than the fifth term by 12. So how do you write this as an equation? The seventh term is bigger than the fifth term by 12. So the difference between these two terms is 12. That's what we get to understand from this information. So the seventh term is bigger than the fifth term by 12. So A7 minus A5 is equal to 12. The difference between the two terms is 12. So A7 is A plus 6D. A5 is A plus 4D is equal to 12. Very important, you need to enclose them in brackets. A plus 6D is the seventh term. A plus 4D is the fifth term. The difference between them is 12. Then open the brackets, solve, you get the value of D. And we know that A plus 2D is 16. So put the value of D here. And upon working this, you can find the value of A. So to generate the AP, you need the values of A and D. To find the AP, you need the values of A and D. So once you get the values of A and D, you can generate the AP. The first term is 4. The second term is 4 plus 6, 10. The third term is 10 plus 6, 16, and so on. Excuse me. Yeah. What's the value of X? What's the common difference of the AP? What's the common difference? What's the value of D?
4.
4. Correct. 4. Minus 33 minus 37. So 4. The sum of these terms. So what you see here, the first term is minus 37 and the last term is X. The sum of these terms from minus 37 to X is minus 180. So you need to find the value of X. Yeah, what's the value of X? X is the nth term, AN. The nth term is X. The nth term, AN is X. So you know the value of A. AP, we have only 3 unknowns, no? A, N, and D. Okay, what is A? Minus 37. What's the value of D? Minus 33 minus 37, which is 4. So N we can find using an equation. So what's the equation here? The sum of all these terms is minus 180. The sum of all these terms is minus 180. Sn is equal to minus 180. Because you can see the plus sign in the middle. Minus 37 plus minus 33 plus minus 29. so on till x. The total is minus 180. Clearly, Sn is equal to minus 180. Sn meaning n by 2 of 2a plus n minus 1 into d is equal to minus 180. A is minus 37, d is 4. So you'll get a quadratic equation in n. Okay, so you'll have to solve the quadratic equation and find the two values for n. So n is 12 or n is 15 by 2. So 15 by 2 is not possible because n stands for the number of terms of the AP, and that cannot be a fraction, right? So n is 12. N is 12. So that means here in this sum, there are 12 terms. There are 12 terms here. N is 12, meaning there are 12 terms here. And the sum of these 12 terms is minus 180. There are 12 terms here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's a 12th term. The sum of these 12 terms is minus 180. Okay, now we have to find the value of x. So clearly x is the 12th term. X is the 12th term. So you'll have to find A12. You'll have to find A12, which is A plus 11D. So see here, A is, we'll see it again. A is minus 37. D is 4. Second term minus the first term. Second term minus the first term. So D is 4. The sum of all these terms, we don't know how many terms. So Sn is equal to minus 180. This is the equation. So now work on this equation. What is Sn? N by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d is minus 180. You know the values of a and d. Substitute. We don't know the value of n. That's what we are going to find through this equation by solving this equation. So on working this is the quadratic equation. I've split the middle term. You can also use a quadratic formula. These are the two values for n. This is not possible. So there are 12 terms here. This is the 12th term. So A12 is A plus 11D. So the value of x is 7. The value of x is 7. Next one. Find the common difference of the AP whose Sn is n square plus 2n. Okay, now tell me, can this expression represent the sum to n terms of a particular AP? Can this expression represent the sum to n terms of a particular AP? Forgotten the theory, children? Okay. Sn, the expression for Sn, the expression for Sn is always quadratic in the variable n. N is the variable there, right? The expression for Sn is always quadratic in n. So see here, Sn is equal to n square plus 2n. It will always be quadratic. The highest power of n will be 2. It's always quadratic in n. But the expression for an, is always Linear in n is always linear in n. Maybe like 3n plus 7, 4n minus. It can be like this also. It will be linear in n. The highest power of n will be 1. The highest power of n will be 1. The expression for Sn, sum to n terms of an AP, is always quadratic in n. The expression for An, the nth term, the general term of an AP, is always linear in n. The highest power of n will be 1. The other things can be anything. The highest power of n is 2 for Sn and 1 for An. What's the answer? What's a common difference, children? Am I audible? Am I audible, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So, Mritza, you've tried this question? Tried answering this question?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. All right. So, how do we find the common difference? No, see, I can do it in detail if nobody's been able to answer this. So, please let me know. Raise your hand if you have not answered this or have forgotten how to, go about the answer. Raise your hand. Yeah, so see, when you acknowledge, it's easy for me. Like, I know now I have to do it in detail. We have done it earlier, children, but that's okay. It's natural, it's normal to forget, but you need to practice also. But I understand, different chapters happening in school. Sometimes we don't find the time to practice. Okay. It's okay. It's a very simple thing. Listen carefully. Now, common difference is found is a difference between any term and its preceding term. So common difference is A10 minus A9, or common difference is A5 minus A4. So normally we do common difference A2 minus A1. Okay. So normally common difference is the second term minus the first term is what we normally say. So we'll go by that. Common difference is equal to the second term minus the first term. You can find it in many ways. It's a difference between any term and its preceding term. So we'll use this. D is equal to A2 minus A1 to find the common difference. Okay, now what are we given? We're given Sn. So Sn is equal to n square plus 2n. All right. Now we can do only this. We can only give values for n. Okay, so let's find S1. So it's 1 square plus 2 into 1. So S1 is equal to 1 plus 2. S1 is equal to 3. What do we mean by S1? S1, sum to the first term of the AP, which actually means the first term itself. See, S2 means A1 plus A2. See, like these are the terms A1, A2, A3, A4, and so on. These are the terms of the AP. S1 is the sum of the first term, which means the first term itself. This is S1. S2 means the sum of these two terms. This is S2. A1 plus A2. What is S3? The sum of the first three terms of the AP. So this is S3. A1 plus A2 plus A3 is S3. What is S4? S4. A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4. So S1 means the first term of the AP is 3. S1 is nothing but A1. A1 is 3. A1 or A is 3. Okay, so we got the first term of the AP. Now we'll find the second term. Okay. We'll find S2. S2 is not the second term. Okay. We'll work S2. What is S2? 2 squared. N is n squared, right? N is 2. So 2 squared plus 2 into n is 2. So S2 is equal to 4 plus 4. S2 is equal to 8. Now what is S2? S2 means A1 plus A2. S2 is not A2. S2 means the sum of the first two terms of the AP. So that means A1 plus A2 is equal to 8. But we know A1 is 3 plus A2 is equal to 8. So A2 is equal to 5. The second term is 5. What's the first term? 3. What's the second term? 5. So then what's the common difference? Second term minus the first term. 5 minus 3, 2 is the common difference. So we're given Sn, find S1. S1 is nothing but A1. Sum to the first term of the AP is nothing but the first term. A1 is 3. Then find S2. S2 is 8. S2 is not the second term. A2 is the second term. S2 is not the second term. S2 means sum of the first two terms of the AP. That means A1 plus A2 is 8. So A1 is 3. So 3 plus A2 is 8. A2 is 5. So now you know the first term. Now you know the first term is 3 and the second term is 5. So common difference is A2 minus A1, 5 minus 3, 2. I'll share these images on WhatsApp, but suppose I'm not able to send it by today and I share it tomorrow. It'll be easy if you take a screenshot now or take a photo using your phone. I'll be sharing the answers. Today I'll try, otherwise by tomorrow I'll share the answers on WhatsApp. All right. Next one. If 7 times the 7th term of an AP, this is okay. If 7 times the 7th term of an AP is equal to 11 times the 11th term, find A18. So what's the value of A18?
0, ma'am.
0. Okay, correct. A18 is 0. So 7 times the 7th term. So 7 into A7 is equal to 11 times the 11th term. 7th term is A7. 11th term is A11. 7 times meaning 7 into 11 times 11 into 7 times, meaning you'll have to multiply into 7. So 7 times the 7th term is equal to 11 times the 11th term is given. So we'll work with this. This is an equation, right? The information given makes an equation. 7 times the 7th term is equal to 11 times the 11th term. So we have an equation from the information given. We are able to construct an equation. So good, we'll solve. We'll try to work this equation and see what happens. A7 is A plus 60. A11 is A plus 10D. So open the brackets and, bring all the terms to one side. And you can see minus 4 is common. Minus 4 is common. So we have A plus 17D in the bracket is equal to 0. A plus 17D is 0 by minus 4. A plus 17D is 0. So you land up with an equation like this. A plus 17D is equal to 0. Now what is A plus 17D? It's nothing but the 18th term. Because 17 is nothing but 18 minus 1. A plus 18 minus 1 into D is equal to 0. That means the 18th term is 0. Okay. 7 times the 7th term, A plus 6D, is equal to 11 times the 11th term, A plus 10D. So 7A plus 42D is equal to 11A plus 110D. Bring everything to one side. You can even take these numbers here so that they'll be positive. I have taken numbers from here, no? You can just watch carefully. You can see 11A here. So minus 7A will be positive. 110D minus 42D will be positive. So you can do that also. You can do it that way also. I'll just do the way you saw here in the slide. So 7A minus 11A plus 42D minus 110D is equal to 0. Minus 4A, what's the difference? Minus 68D is equal to 0. You can also change the signs throughout. I have not done that. I've taken minus 4 common. You can also change the signs throughout. So you'll get 4A. Minus 4A becomes plus 4A. Minus 68D plus 68D. And 0 is neither positive nor negative, so it remains 0. But if you had some other number on the other side, then you should change the sign there. Now take out 4 common, or you're dividing by 4 throughout. Taking out 4 common or dividing by 4 throughout. So A plus 17D is equal to 0. Then this 4 comes for division. 0 by 4 is 0. So what's that you've got? A plus 17D is equal to 0. A plus 17D is nothing but A18. So that means A18 is 0. And you can just work on A plus 17D. What is A plus 17D? It's nothing but A plus 18 minus 1 into D. Like A plus N minus 1 into D. A plus N minus 1 into D is the nth term. A plus N minus 1 into D is the nth term. So A plus 18 minus 1 into D will be the 18th term. So A18 is 0. Okay. Next one. Just a minute, children. Children, raise your hand if you've completed working this answer. Otherwise, I'll just give you some time. I'll come back maybe in some 15-20 minutes time to discuss the remaining answers. If you've worked the 7th one, raise your hand. No. Okay. So if you have not done the 7th one, I just assume that you have not done anything after the 7th one, right? 7, 8, 9, 10 is still to be attempted. Okay. So I think,
Ma'am,
yeah.
ma'am, I have completed all the questions except 8 and 9, ma'am.
Oh, except 8 and 9, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
8 and 9. Oh, okay. What about the others? Okay, I'll come back in 10 minutes, children. We'll discuss the remaining answers. Yeah, continue working. Kamalika can also try and complete the 8th and the 9th one.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, time to see the answers from the 7th one. Yeah. If in an AP, the sum of the first 7 terms is 63, the sum of the first 7 terms, that is A1 plus A2, like this till A7, the sum of the first 7 terms is 63, which means S7 is 63. And then we know n by 2 of 2a plus n minus 1 into d is 63. N is 7. So 7 by 2 of 2a. We don't know the AP, so we don't know the first term. Plus 7 minus 1. We also don't know the common difference. Okay, so 7 by 2. We only know n here. N is 7. So 7 by 2 of 2a plus 7 minus 1 into d. A and d values we don't know. Is equal to 63. So you will get an equation in A and D. So 7 by 2, 2A plus 6D is equal to 63. You can take out 2 common into 2 of A plus 3D is equal to 63. 2 cancels. So A plus 3D is equal to 63 by 7, which is 9. Okay. Sum of the next 7 terms. Next 7 terms meaning A8 plus A9 plus A10 plus A11, let me write them, A11 plus A12 plus A13 plus A14 is equal to 161. Next 7 terms. So after the 7th term, A8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 7 terms. Next 7 terms is from the 8th term to the 14th term. The sum of these terms is 161. So again, you can use the same formula. We cannot write S14. Okay, we cannot write S14 here because S14 means the sum of the first 14 terms. A1 plus A2 plus A3 till A14. The sum of all the terms from the first to the 14th is S14. So we cannot write S14 for this. This is not the sum of the first 14 terms. It is a sum of the terms from the 8th to the 14th. So that cannot be represented with S14. We cannot write S7 also because S7 is the sum of the first 7 terms. Okay. So don't try to write anything using symbols here, but directly use the formula n by 2. N by 2. How many terms here? N, 7 terms. How many terms are here? N, 7 terms. So n by 2 of 2a. 2a, which is the first term here. We see the sum of the 7 terms, right? Here, which is the first term? A8. So n by 2, n is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 by 2. 161 is the sum of 7 terms of the AP. So n is 7. How many terms have we taken into account to get the sum 161? 7 terms, no. So n is 7. 7 by 2 of 2a. Which is the first term here? In this sum, which is the first term? A8. So 2a is 2 into A8 plus n minus 1, 7 minus 1 into D. We don't know D. D is equal to 161. And what is A8? A plus 7D. A8 is A plus 7D. So you will get another equation in A and D. Solve these two equations simultaneously to find the values of A and D. And once you get A and D, oh, we have to find A, N, and Sn. Okay. So once you get A and D, you can generate the AP. And you can find A, N, and Sn. I've told you to find A, N, and Sn. N will be N. You will have to only give the values for A and D. To find A, N, or Sn, N will remain N. You will not be substituting anything for N because you'll have to find A, N, Sn. So N is N. But in the formula, you will be using the values of A and D, which we have just got. And you will see that AN will be an expression, will be a linear expression in N, and Sn will be a quadratic expression in N. So I've written sum of the next 7 terms is 161. So you can see here A8 to A14 is 161. 7 by 2, 2 into A8 plus 7 minus 1 to D is 161. A8 is A plus 7D. So 2A 14D plus 6D is equal to 161. So on working this is the second equation. Solve the two equations. So first you get the value of D, and on substituting you get the value of A. So AN is A plus N minus 1 into D. A is 3, D is 2. N is N. So see, you get a linear expression in N for AN. Sn, N by 2 of 2A plus N minus 1 into D. N is N. N will remain N. Substitute the values for A and D. So 2A, 2 into 3, right? 6. And D is 2. So when you work this, you get 2 cancels and N squared, because N into N is N squared. N squared plus 2N. Quadratic. N squared plus 2N. Okay. It's an alternate approach. Same question. So we can also construct the second equation like this. You can find S14. How? The sum of the first 7 terms plus the sum of the next 7 terms will be the sum of the first 14 terms. The sum of the first 7 terms, 63, and the sum of the next 7 terms, 161. So the sum of the first 7 terms plus the sum of the next 7 terms. First 7 terms is what? From A1 to A7. Next 7 terms is from A8 to A14. So when you take both of them together, it will be the sum from A1 to A14. A1 to A14. So S14. So S14 is equal to 224. So this is the sum of the first 14 terms. So n by 2, 14 by 2 of 2a. First 14 terms. No, so 2a, a is the first term and the first term itself. Plus n minus 1 into d is equal to 224. So you can also find the sum of the first 14 terms like this and use the formula. You will get a different equation. The second equation will be different. However, when you solve the two equations, the values of a and b will be the same. And then find the an and Sn. So this is an alternate approach. Yeah. Find the sum of all 3-digit non-multiples of 17. What's the answer? So the procedure is 3-digit, okay? So find the sum of all 3-digit non-multiples of 17. So you need to find the sum of all the 3-digit numbers. Then from the sum of all the 3-digit numbers, you need to subtract or take away the sum of all 3-digit multiples of 17. So the difference will give you the sum of all 3-digit non-multiples of 17. So we'll do the answer in 3 steps. First step is to find or generate the AP of all 3-digit numbers. This is the AP of all 3-digit numbers. Now find the sum of all these numbers. Find the sum of all these numbers. So this is the sum of all 3-digit numbers. Next, generate the AP of all 3-digit multiples of 70. This is step 1. Step 2 is to generate the AP containing all 3-digit multiples of 17. 3-digit multiples of 17. So it starts with 102 and goes up to 986. Find the sum of all these numbers. So here we have the sum of all 3-digit multiples of 17 is 28,832. So now the difference between these two numbers, that is the sum of all 3-digit numbers minus the sum of all 3-digit multiples of 17 will give you the sum of all 3-digit non-multiples of 17. The difference. We'll see again. First, generate the AP of all 3-digit First, generate the AP of all 3-digit numbers, meaning 3-digit natural numbers, starting from 100 to 999. All right. So generate the AP and then find the sum of all these numbers from 100 to 999. That's the first step. Step 2 is to generate the AP of all 3-digit multiples of 17. Multiples. Because the 3-digit non-multiple, why are we not finding the answer straight away? That is, why are we not generating the AP of 3-digit non-multiples of 17 and finding the sum straight away? Because the sequence of the 3-digit non-multiples of 17 will not form an arithmetic progression. You can generate the sequence. You can write the sequence of all 3-digit non-multiples of 17, but the numbers will not form an AP. So you cannot do it like that. That's why we find the sum of all 3-digit natural numbers. Step 1. Step 2, we generate the AP of all 3-digit multiples of 17. That will form an AP. Find the sum. The difference between these two will give you the sum of all 3-digit non-multiples of 17. Very simple. But you need to be very careful, very accurate with your, calculations. Okay, next one. So what's the common difference of this AP? What is the common difference of this AP?
Root 7.
Root 7.
Yeah. Root 7. Correct. It's not root 28 minus root 7, which is root 21. No. It's not this. That calculation is incorrect. So root 7, and the second one is 4 into 7, 28. The third one is 9 into 7, 63. So root 7, 2 root 7, because 4 comes out as 2. 4 comes out of the square root as 2. So 2 root 7. 9 out of the square root as 3. 3 root 7. So these are the terms of the AP, and the common difference is 2 root 7 minus root 7, which is root 7. And the first term is root 7. So how do we find a n minus 1? The n minus 1th term, a n minus 1, will be a plus the n minus 1th term, this particular term, a n minus 1 minus 1. into D. A n minus 1 will be A is root 7. Okay. So A, see here, A n is what? A plus n minus 1 into D. So now A n minus 1 will be A plus, already it is n minus 1. See, you should write the term n and then minus 1. Here, what's the term? N minus 1. And then minus 1 into D. N, you should write n and then minus 1 into D. Here, what is n? Or the position n minus 1. So write n minus 1 into D. This position n minus 1 into D. So substitute A is root 7, D is also root 7, and find A n minus 1. And S10 will be n by 2 of 2A plus n minus 1 into D. So you can see the AP, the first term, the common difference. A n minus 1 is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. Substitute the values of A and D. So root 7 into n is root 7n minus 2 root 7. So root 7 minus 2 root 7 is minus root 7 and then root 7n. You can see it's linear. It's linear. Then Sn. This is the formula. S10. So 10 by 2, 2a plus 10 minus 1 into d. The answer is 55 root 7. How many terms of the AP must be taken to get sum 90? Explain the double answer. How many terms? How many terms, children?
Ma'am, n is 12 and 5.
N is 12 or n is 5, is it? Okay, now both are acceptable, right? Because n5 is possible. You don't have a reason to say n cannot be 5. N12. So you cannot reject 12 for any reason. Both 5 and 12 are acceptable. Yeah, correct. Very good, Mritza. Both 5 and 12 are acceptable values for n. So you cannot reject them for any reason. So n is equal to 5 means a1 plus a2 plus a3 . Sorry, n is equal to 5 means the sum of the first 5 terms is 90. A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus A5 is equal to 90. N is 12 means, once again, n is equal to 5 or n is equal to 12. So when n is 5, it means A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus A5 is equal to 90. When n is 12, it means A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus A5 plus A6, A7, A8, A9, A10, A11, A12 is equal to 90. So the sum of these terms, A1 to A5, is 90. So that means the sum of these terms from A1 to A5 is 90. But the entire sum is also 90. That is because the sum of these terms is 0. That's because the sum of these terms. Explain the double answer. The double answer is because The sum of the terms from the 6th to the 12th is 0. The terms are not 0. It's not A6 is 0, A7 is 0, A8 is 0. No, no, not like that. The terms cannot be 0 because then it will not be an AP, no? The terms are not 0. The terms are positive and negative. So collectively their sum is 0. So say you have positive 25 and you have a negative 25. The sum of the positive, how many terms are here? A 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 7 numbers, right? So the sum of 3 numbers, say is a positive 25. The sum of the remaining 4 numbers is a negative 25. So the total sum of all these terms is 0. The terms are not 0. Okay. So when n is 5, A1 plus A2, the sum of the first 5 terms is 90. When n is 12, the sum of the first 12 terms is 90. So we know that the sum of the first 5 terms is 90. So just put it here. The sum of the first 5 terms is 90. But the sum of the first 12 terms is also 90. That means the sum of the terms from the 6th to the 12th is 0. That's the reason for the double answer. The double answer is because the sum of all the terms from the 6th to the 12th is 0. So after writing the value of A and D, it's given Sn, sum 90. Sn is 90. So you know the value of A, you know the value of D. Put them in this formula. You get a quadratic equation. Solve and find the values for n. Both are acceptable. If it was 5 by 2, then you will reject this and you will say n is only 12. So here explain the double answer is because both are acceptable. N can be 5, n can be 12. You cannot say no for any reason. So you can see here, S5 is 90. The sum of the first 5 terms is 90. Means A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. The sum is 90. S12 is 90. That means A1 to A12. A1 to A12, the sum is 90. But this is already 90. So that means this has to be 0. So the double answer is because A6 plus A7 plus A8 till A12 is 0. Sometimes you will get N7 or N8. So these are the two cases, like either you don't have consecutive values for N. N is 5, N is 12. 5 and 12 are not consecutive numbers, right? So either you have this difference in the two values for N. In that case, the reason will be something like this. The sum of the terms from something to something is 0. So normally you can make out from this itself. So 5, no, what is after 5? 6. So that's because the sum of the numbers from the 6th to the 12th is 0. The sum of after 5 is 6. After 5 is 6. So the sum of the terms from the 6th to the 12th is 0. Supposing you have n is 10, n is 25. So after 10 is 11. The sum of all the terms from the 11th to the 25th is 0. Will be the reason for the double answer. The other case can be the two values for n are consecutive numbers, like n is equal to 23 or n is equal to 24. So A1 till A23, the sum is whatever, some sum, okay? I'll just say 500. Or I'll take the same sum, no, here. I'll take 90 itself. So supposing you're 8, n is 23 or n is 24, okay? So N23 means S23. That is A1 to A23. The sum is 90. S24 is A1 to 23, A24. This sum is also 90. But already A1 to A23, the sum is 90, right? S23 means from A1 to A23, the sum is 90. S24 means A1 to A24, the sum is 90. But from A1 to A23, already the sum is 90 from this. From this, already the sum from A1 to A23 is 90. But still, when you include the 24th term, the sum is still 90. That means the 24th term is 0. So when the two values for n are consecutive numbers, then that greater number, no, A24 is 0. The reason for the double answer will be when the two values for n are consecutive numbers, the reason for the double answer will be, like in this example, the 24th term is 0. In this case, we'll say the sum of the terms from something to something is 0. Here we say a particular term is 0. The 24th term is 0. That's why 90 plus 0 is 90. This particular term, the value is 0. That's why 90 plus 0, the sum of the first 24 terms remains the same. It's 90. It's logical, no? The sum of the first 23 terms and the sum of the first 24 terms is the same. So in spite of adding the 24th term, you're still getting the same sum. That means the 24th term is 0. Class, use the emoji. Raise your hand. Hariprana, Mritsa, Blessy, Anugraha, Kamalika, Sabarna, Srivatsan. Okay. All right. All right, children. So that's it for today's session. Thank you so much. You may leave the call. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, children. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good night, children.